Let me welcome you, my dear students. This is our second learning session of 14th to 19th century poetry with MA English second semester. Dear students, if you remember what we did last time, we tried to learn Introduction to 14th century poetry. We tried to learn the historical development of poetry. We try to learn the introduction of Geoffrey Chaucer, that he is called the father of English poetry. He was born in London around 1343. He was poet of medieval age and he was died on October 25th, 1400, and he was buried in Westminster Abbey, that is called now Poets' Corner. So we can simply say that he was the first poet who was buried there. So my dear students, we have tried to learn the Canterbury Tale, that it is a poem of long narrative. We tells about the hypocrisy of church and position of women, social ranks, and it also tells about that the tone is satirical. We find in it the universal characterization, and it is a frame narrative in which we find different narrations. So my dear students, let's discuss the outline of our today's lecture. That today we will discuss the Canterbury Tale and its text. So my dear students, let me tell you about the Canterbury Tale. The Canterbury Tale is all about the pilgrimage. The pilgrims are travelling from London to Canterbury Cathedral. They meet at the Tabard in London. The host, Harry Bailey, suggests they tell stories to pass the time as they are travelling to Canterbury. The one who tells the best story will be rewarded with a special meal when they return back to London. So let's discuss the characters that we find in it. The knight character, squire, yeoman, prioress, monk, friar, merchant, clerk, sergeant of law, cook, wife of bath, miller, parson, shipman, summoner, municipal, pardoner, and Harry Bailey itself. So my dear students, before I start my discussion on the text, let me tell you that there is a little change in the shape, or we can simply say that there is a little change in the spelling of the words. For example, I read out the first two lines. When that April with his showers soothed, the drought of March had pierced to the root. Here in the first line, we can say that the when is written in classical English, which is equivalent to when, W-H-E-N. April is equivalent to April with the spelling A-P-R-I-L, which is the name of the month. So it's April with his shower. So dear students, here Chaucer has personified the month of April by using the word his, means uska, for a month of year which is not a living thing. We can simply say that यहाँ Chaucer ने month को human की characteristics और qualities दे दी हैं. He has personified the month of year. So students, here writer has used the first figure of speech in the very first line of the prologue to Canterbury Tale. So students, shower is written in classical English and it is equivalent to S-H-O-W-E-R, while soothe means sweet. So my dear students, the next line, the drought, tells about that dryness of March. March is the month of year. Hat means has, while purse is equal to parched, which spellings are P-I-E-R-C-E-D, to the root. Here root means root. It is equivalent to R-O-O-T, root. So my dear students, let me tell you that the writer wants to say the dryness of the month or the dryness of March month has reached the very roots of the plants. The next lines are, and bath every vein in which liquor the power, of which virtue engendered is the flower. Here in this line, we can say that bath is written in classical English, which means or which is equivalent to bath, B-A-T-H, bath. Every vein, again here vein is written in classical English, which in the spelling of V-E-I-N. Here the next one is switch. Switch means such and liquor means moisture. The power is written in classical English, but it is equivalent to P-O-W-E-R, power. So my dear students, of which virtue engendered is the flower. In this line, engendered means created and flower means bit different from today's English. Means we can simply say that the spelling is equivalent to F-L-O-W-E-R, flower. So my dear students, next two lines are, when Zephyrus eke with his sweet breath inspired hath in every hoard and heath. Here when is written in classical English with the word a, which is equivalent to the word e, means when, W-H-E-N, while Zephyrus here is a reference. Here is a reference or here is an allusion to the west wind, which is generally associated to the spring season, and eke means also, while breath is equivalent to breath, that is B-R-E-A-T-H, while inspired hath. Here we can say that hath means has, hoard means form, and heath means health. So my dear students, in the very 6 lines, the writer is telling about the description of April month or spring season. So the description is here that the April month has finished the dryness of March month, and the bath created a new energy in flower, while the Zephyrus with his sweet breath has inspired every farm and field. So my dear students, the next lines are, the tender croups and the young sun hath in the ram his half course run. So my dear students, tender is written in classical English, that is equivalent to T-E-N-D-E-R, which means narmonazuk, while croups means tree troops or sprouting means complet. Again, the spelling of young is written in classical English, which is equivalent to Y-O-U-N-G, young. Sun again is written in classical English, which is equivalent to S-U-N, sun. Hath in the ram his half course run. Students, hath means has, ram is the first zodiac sign, half means or half is equivalent to half, with spelling H-A-L-F, and run is equivalent to R-U-N, run. So the explanation is the tender tree roots are sprouting and the young sun has completed his half course of running in the ram. The next lines are, and small foils make a melody that slepen all the night with open ear. So my dear students, in the first line, the small is written in classical English, which is equivalent to S-M-A-L-L, small. Foils means the birds, while maken is equivalent to, we can simply say that make. Again, melody is written in classical English, that is equivalent to melody. Melody means songs. That's slepen. Slepen is equivalent to sleep. All is written in classical English, which is equivalent to ALL. The night. Again, night is equivalent to NIGHT with open I. With open G. G explains about the I. So my dear students, let me tell you that in these lines, the poet says that the small birds are singing songs, that in the April month and spring season, small birds are singing songs. Everything and every creature is happy in the spring season, in this month of April. Everything got moistured and the flower got energy, and west winds has inspired energy in everything. And small birds are singing songs that sleep all the night with open eye. If we talk about the rhyming scheme, we can tell you soothe and rule, power and flower, breathe and heat, sun and run, melody and yet. So here, my dear student, let me tell you that all these lines are in pairs of rhyme. So we can say that the pair of lines, they had rhyming scheme or rhyme together. Moreover, if you look at the lines contains 10 syllables. So let me tell you how. We talk about the, first syllable, sleigh, second, pun, third, all, fourth, the, fifth, nigh, sixth, to, 7, with, 8, open, 9 and yet 10. So we can simply say that it contains 10 syllables. So it is written in iambic pentameter. So let's discuss the next lines. So my dear students, so pride him nature in his courage, then longen folk to go on pilgrimage. In this line, prick means insides or arouse means arouse or insides means uksana. Hem means them. Here means their. Courage means heart. So nature arouse in or incites their heart, that motivate them, that it encourages them. So in the next line, then longen folk to go on pilgrimage. In this line, here we can say that then means then, longen means then is equivalent to then, which spelling is THEN. Longen means desire, folk means people, gone is equivalent to go with spelling GO. Pilgrimage or pilgrimage is the journey to holy place or ziyarat जिसे हम कहते हैं. Dear students, here we can say that nature encourages the heart of the people to go on pilgrimage. So my dear students, and palmers for the second strange stone to fern halves north in Sondry Lawn. So my dear students, let's discuss the first line. That here in the first line, palmer means basically pilgrims, that they carry the palm tree as a gift, while to second is equivalent to seek, SEEK. Strange stones means foreign places, while to fern halls means distant holy places, means वो मुतबरिक जगहें जो दूर दराज इलाके में मौजूद होती हैं. While north is equivalent to known, 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 Sundry means various and lawns means land. So my dear students, here nature encourages or motivates and it arouses the heart of the pilgrims to make a desire to go to the pilgrimage and farmers to seek and to go to the strange land and to see the holy places and to know about the various land. The next is, and specially from every shire of England to Canterbury they went. So my dear students, let me tell you that here the meaning of, here we can simply say that shire is the जिला जिसे हम कहते हैं, means the writer wants to say to every shire and from England to Canterbury they are going. The holy blissful martyr for to seek that him hath holpen when that they were seeken. Means we can simply say that here holy is written in classical English which is equivalent to HOLY, while blissful means blessed by God. Martyr is equivalent to martyr, MARTYR means shaheed. Seek is written in classical English, that is equivalent to SEEK, seek. Hem means them. So holpen means help, while seek means seek. So my dear students, here we can say that all these people, they are intended to go to visit to martyr for the sake of getting blessing of God. When they were sick, they were ought to go to that place and they were helped. So the next lines are, befell that in that season on a day in Southwark at the tabard as I lay. So my dear students, here befell means happened. Season is written in the classical English which is equivalent to SEASON. Southwark is a place and tabard is inn. Inn means where pilgrims stay during their journey of pilgrimage, and from there they had to start their journey. So my dear students, this paragraph is all about the pilgrimage. So the next line is, ready to wander on a pilgrimage to Canterbury with full devout courage. So let me tell you that the ready word is written in classical English which is equivalent to READY, ready. Wander mean go on a pilgrimage. Go on, so wander means go on a pilgrimage to Canterbury with full of devoted. Means here we can say that they are going to full of devotion. Devote means mukhlisana. That devote is equivalent to DEVOULT means mukhlisana. Courage means heart. So they are ready to go on pilgrimage to Canterbury with full of devoted heart. So students, at night were come into hostelry. So in we can simply say that well night and 20 in a campaign. So here we can say that the night is written in old or classical English which is equivalent to NIGHT, and hostelry means inn. Inn again is a place where pilgrims stay. So again the nine is equal, well is before it. I will tell you that the well is written in classical English which is equivalent to WELL. 9 is again written in classical English which is equivalent to NINE, 9 and 20. Here 9 and 20 explains about that they are 29 in a company. So here campaign, we can simply say that campaign is written in classical English which tells about the company. So we can say that it is a narration in which host is telling about that there were 29 pilgrimage in inn. So the next line is of Sondre folk by Avenger fair. Sondre means different classes, Avenger means by chance. So he wants to say that by chance they people were belonging to the different classes. And he also says that they were in our company, or they were the companion of our journey. So they decided to tell the stories to pass the time, and one who tells the best story will be rewarded with a special meal when they return back to London. The host tells us that they belonging to different class, and as you want to know who they are and what status, or what we can say that what status they have in the life and which type of clothes they were wearing. So he starts with the knight, because the knight is one who has highly social rank. Again, knight is written in classical English which is equivalent to KNIGHT, knight. So my dear students, let me tell you, a knight there was, and that a worthy man. Here in this line, the narrator want to say that the knight is, as knight is written in old spelling which is equivalent to KNIGHT, and he want to say that he was there and he was a worthy man, that through the time that he first began. Here from means from, time is written in classical English which is equivalent to TIME, time. So my dear students, let me tell you that here he wants to say that there was a knight who was a worthy man from the time he started his journey or his job. We can simply say that he was the worthy man from the first beginning or first began. Then to ride out he loved chivalry, truth and honor, freedom and courtesy. So here we can say that the riden is equivalent to go out, means it is about to go out, and chivalry means glory in the deed of bravery and adventure. The knight is the one who was always ready to help the poor, the needy people. He was ready to search the adventure to help some people, means some children, some women or old people or anybody in the society who was in the need of help. As a knight, he was always quest of certain adventures so he can help people. So it brought fame and glory for him, and it is a good thing for their career, for their career. So truth and honor, freedom and courtesy. Truth is equivalent to truth, TRUTH. Courtesy is refinement. So we can say that he loves chivalry and he always speaks truth. He loved freedom and courtesy. So full worthy was he in his Lord's wars, and thereto had he ridden no man far. So here Lord War defines about the war that were fought by him, and he was a worthy man, as he was worthy that he fought very well. Those who brought glory to him, he fought well in the war, that war fought by Lord. Thereto means therein. It is equivalent to therein. Hadden is written in classical English, so which is equivalent to had, HAD. Then the rider. The again is ride. So riden is equivalent to the where ride means he reached where no man far. So here we can say that it is all about the knight description, that he fought very well in the war, and he was the worthy man because he was in search of help people. And the whole paragraph tells about the knight and his wars. So this is all about our today's lecture. Let's take a quick review that we have discussed the Canterbury Tale, we have discussed the characters, we have discussed the Canterbury Tales, and we have discussed the stanzas of Canterbury Tales. So this is all about our today's lecture. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.